it comes in three categories. The first, I spend most of my time dealing with China, India-China relations. Second, I've dealt with South Asia, especially Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, and then Sri Lanka. Most recently, I was the Deputy High Commissioner in Sri Lanka. And the third category is multilateral, where I spent almost 4.5 to 5 years dealing with multilateral issues. First in New York, when I was in the permanent mission of India to the United Nations, and subsequently certain stints at headquarters, which turned out to be quite interesting. It starts from the political, it includes the economic and trade, it includes defense, maritime security, it includes taking care of the interests of the Indian diaspora here, the huge Indian community, it includes culture and people-to-people contacts and any other areas of cooperation which is ready to be exploited by India and Bahrain working together in the post-pandemic period. Apart from the political high-level exchanges, it also includes trade, tourism, technology, two-way investments, defense cooperation, people-to-people contacts, cultural exchanges, and a high degree of coordination on regional issues as well as international issues. On transnational issues like climate change, both Bahrain and India have been affected in the last few years, and I think we need to work together with a sense of purpose to address this important challenge, because it is my responsibility, along with the help of the Bahraini ambassador in Delhi, his team there, my team here, to convert it into reality. Where it is possible to find convergence, you try and find convergence. With some countries, you may not have any convergence possible in any sphere of bilateral engagement. But that's fine. While you make an effort, but you have to accept the reality of the present times. But in all of that, it's very important to pursue your national interests, which is something that I use as a mantra and as a principle for practice while I was dealing with bilateral relations with Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. The role of an ambassador, the role of an embassy is constantly changing. These changes are because of transnational forces. These changes are also because of events and developments beyond the control of governments. My predecessor dealt with the challenge of the COVID. That was a black swan event, and I hope we will not have a black swan event for the foreseeable future. Having said that, we have to be prepared for any eventuality, and that is one of the important things that I will be focusing on, to be ready for any sort of eventuality during this. The political dimension is very significant. The convergences between the leadership on both sides is very high, and the respect that the leadership has for each other is very visible. 2019, during the state visit of Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, he was bestowed the highest honor in Bahrain, the Bahrain Order First Class, and similarly the Bahraini leadership took the decision to keep flights going during the COVID period. This is something that we are always grateful for, and this wouldn't have been possible but for the high degree of convergences amongst the leadership. The trade between India and Bahrain has been quite robust. In fact, last year we saw very high trade figures. It reached $1.6 billion. I would expect this coming year to see reasonably high growth rates in trade, continuation of the momentum, somewhere in the range of 1.3 billion to 1.4 billion. This trend is likely to continue. We make efforts to travel to each other's places of residence. Technology helps us keep in touch. The presence of the children in two different cultures, in two different geographies at different points of time during the school year helps them enrich their lives. So a multicultural environment is something that they have always been exposed to, and I think this is a positive insofar as our family life is concerned. When I look back at the time when I joined the service, I would say that it was a much more simpler time. There were fewer conflicts to deal with, but now you have a much more complex international environment. You have the rapid development of technology, you have movement of people, movement of finances, movement of goods and services in ways and means that we never thought of. These are things that make the life of a diplomat interesting. Equally, these are some of the challenges that make the task of a diplomat that much more challenging, because you have to answer to your headquarters when you're abroad, and you're also to address the aspirations and expectations of the host government, as well as when there is a substantial Indian diaspora, their demands. You are known for not only your skills or the resources that you have, but also for your character. Please continue in the same approach that you have been maintaining, which is to abide by the laws and rules of Bahrain, work hard, contribute to the economic prosperity of the Bahrain government and its society. The Bahraini government, the royal court, the foreign office in particular, have been exceptionally hospitable. They've received me with warmth. So they made this transition exceptionally smooth, and I must thank them for that. I also have noticed the warmth with which they treat the Indian ambassador, the affection they show towards the Indian community and the Indian diaspora, and I'm truly grateful for that. I think they are exceptional hosts. Country like Bahrain is that it is a civilization. Therefore, there are layers and layers of nuances in a society like Bahrain. And that is something that a person who represents a country which has an equally long civilization can appreciate. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for me to appreciate and understand the civilizational values of the Bahraini society and its people.